Hey, everybody, on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday night. It is Minnie Alexander here. Just wanted to chat a little bit tonight. So, the topic is my experience with narcissists. It's amazing to me, many people do not know what a narcissist is. So, I'll explain that. And I'm going to disclose right now I am not a licensed therapist, psychiatrist. I'm not going to sit here and act as if I'm one of those people. I am not. I am just a person with experience, person who has done my own research, being in entanglements with narcissists. Um, so that's where I derive my information from. So before I go on again, I am an author. My book is called A White Man's Whore. You can find it on Amazon. It is about interracial dating. It's about white men dating black women and educating them both on dating each other from a different perspective. You know, it's not all about, you know, sunshines and roses, even though you can't have an interracial relationship that is a very healthy relationship, but there's other things that can happen, especially perspective through from a black woman's eyes who has had interracial dating in her life. So the book has a lot of my personal stories in there, the other black women's personal experiences in there, white men's personal experiences in there dating black women. Very interesting book, and I have to say thank you everybody who has purchased my book. I went and checked my bank statement today, and I seen I have a check from Amazon. So that means that I'm selling my book, and I find it absolutely amazing that the time and the effort and the energy and um, everything that was in me, that from the first letter I typed to when I completed my book, a piece of me is in people's homes that I've never met and will never meet. My book. And again, I have to say thank you for the people who have purchased my book and the people who email me about the topic. Uh, Thank you. You inspire me to continue doing my videos and also to continue to work on other pieces of writing that I'm doing right now. So let's go back. So, and again, I don't know if this is going to be an open panel. I'm not planning on staying here very long. I might open it up a little bit. I might not. It's kind of late at night. I got work tomorrow. I got a few other things I need to do. So I'm not sure if it's going to be an open panel, but you are welcome to comment. You are welcome to share. You are always welcome to like, and I appreciate you subscribing and hitting that notification button. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, narcissist. I'm not sure. I don't think I've done a video on narcissists. And I think what has kind of stopped me, even though I have experience with narcissists, is, it's kind of it's not really complex once you've dealt with one and then you have studied what they're about. But I guess since it's something where it's like only way they can get help is to go see a therapist, I don't want to seem like I'm a therapist. So again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not. I I don't have a psychology background. I'm just talking from experience. So, narcissists. And narcissists can be men or women. But tonight, since I am a woman and I've dealt with male narcissists, I'm going to keep it from the keep look at it through the perspective of a woman dating a narcissist. So anything I'm saying, you can flip it from a man dating a narcissist. So I there are people who have narcissistic traits, and there's people who are full blown narcissists. They are living, breathing, manipulating people. Excuse me, manipulative people, full blown. I I'm not going to disclose names. I dated someone who had narcissistic traits, so it was bearable. They would do things like, for instance, It's very hard for narcissists to take responsibility for things. Go into rages. The rages can be something mild to full blown physical abuse, and I had that um, happen in my life. That extreme, the physical abuse. So my first dealing with a narcissist, I would say he was on the mild, very mild, but it was still abuse. So narcissists, um, they're the most manipulative people on this earth. And what they do this thing called love bombing. And again, when I talk to people about narcissists and the relationships that I've had with these people, and I talk to regular people about it and share my experience, a lot of people don't even know these terms. They have no idea what a narcissist is. And I think this is vital, especially if you're a single person out there dating. It's vital to know what a narcissist is before you get entangled with these people. So what they do is they love bomb you. If you do not know what love bombing is when they act. They're great actors. They act like the person of your dreams. That's the best way for me to explain it. So again, I'm looking at it through a woman's perspective tonight. So the narcissist that I met, the mild one, he love bombed me, but it wasn't too bad. It was just him being really nice, and but it was still nevertheless love bombing. So there's different streams of extremes of that too. So love bombing can look like calling you every day. And again, for a person who's single, who does has it's rare if it's rare for them to meet someone who gives them that kind of attention, everyday attention, talking to them on the phone, texting throughout the day. It feels good. And the difference between love bombing and a person who really just likes someone and wants to talk to them is love bombing has an expiration date. So that's one thing, love bombing. They could be buying you gifts. I mean, just showering you with attention, saying things like you're the person of their dreams. They never met anybody like you. You're so wonderful. Um, the affection, the spending time together. They're basically conditioning you. It's really effed up what they do. They're conditioning you for you to take the abuse when they start dishing it out. And narcissists always dish out abuse. So the three narcissists I'm going to talk about tonight. The first one, which was I dated, that was a mild one. He loved bomb, but it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't extreme. Um, and love bombing eventually stopped. The second one, I mean, he was the worst. Maybe I should give these people names so I'm not people aren't getting lost. But I'll just go the first one, the second one, the third one. And they actually went in that order too. So the second one, his technique of love bombing was kind of the same thing, was giving a lot of time, um, calling every day, texting every day, um, buying me gifts, and all of the, you know, basically talking to me in a very sweet way. And his love bombing lasts for about, I would say, 3 to 4 months. The third man, his love bombing only lasts for 2 weeks. And I believe since the middle guy, since I had such a abusive relationship with him, and the middle guy is the one where I really started studying what narcissism is and narcissistic personality, what it really is. So by the time the third guy came, he didn't have a chance to pull that on me because I saw everything that he was doing while it was unfolding right in front of me. They're very manipulative people. So again, they kind of groom you in that love bombing stage where they get you emotional. So if you're a male narcissist, and he's grooming the woman to be emotional. So when the abuse happens, it's harder for her to leave. So that's the first thing. And you know what love bombing is because it eventually stops, like a light switch. Like literally, it could be for a month, 2 months of just straight. They're just showering you with all kind of attention. All of a sudden, one day it's stop. So the normal person, the normal woman, if she's dating a male narcissist, is like, what happened? Is it me? That's what they want you to think. Is it me? Did I do something? Did I say something wrong? Are the feelings changing? And then most women, they want that attention back. They want the phone calls every day. They want that sweet person. Hey, Danny, I see you in the comments. Danny says they love bomb you until you become attached. Exactly. So they basically condition you. So again, I'm talking through the perspective of a woman who's dating someone who's dated someone who's been a narcissist. So again, when that light switch goes completely off and the love bombing stops, it's natural for this person, for the woman, to be like, I want this love or this whatever we had, this just ecstasy we've been living in for the past 2 weeks, month, 3 months, 6 months of this long love bombing. I want it to continue. So let me change myself to suit this man so he can continue, so he can go back to how he was in the beginning. So now we start the effed up cycle of abuse. Now we start it, right? Um, so after that, a lot of narcissists, they'll criticize you slightly. It might be something like, oh, why do you wear your hair like that? Or, my ex used to do this. So the middle narcissist, what he would do is he would actually show me pictures of his ex. It wasn't like in a conversation. He would just open his phone and hand me the phone, and I'm looking at a picture of a woman. Or he actually sent me, let me look at his phone with him, with a woman kissing his cheek. Then he goes into explaining who this woman is, how it's his ex, which is absolutely rude. But what they're doing is they're conditioning the woman to kind of get into this competitive mode of, I gotta be better than his ex. And they always have a sad story. They have sad story of people leaving them, but they don't tell the whole story. They have talk about what happened in their childhood. I mean, they really get you emotionally just attached. And if you're a good-hearted woman, you want to come in and save them because you feel that whatever you have inside of you can heal whatever is broken in them. And that's absolutely unhealthy, especially with the narcissist. So they always have sad stories and they never tell the full truth. For instance, a narcissist can say, oh, well, every woman I meet leaves me, right? So he's conditioning this woman he's dating now to say in her head, well, in the beginning, he was talking about marriage. He told me he loved me, so I'm going to be that woman that never leaves him. He got you. He fell into the manipulation. But what he's failing to tell you is all the women before you left because he either stalked them or either he cheated on them or he was verbally abusive, emotionally abusive. Emotionally, he cuts his emotions off, because some narcissists, what they'll do is they'll give you just enough emotion to make you feel good and then yank it back. I mean, there be a number of things why women are justified of leaving this person, but they never tell you that. They just tell you the story of oh, hey, Queen Sunkiss, thank you. I don't know if I'm gonna have an open panel tonight because I'm not planning on staying on here very long. But I'm talking about the topic tonight is narcissists. So I'm going through the different steps of how to know you're dating a narcissist. I have dated three. The first one was mild. The second one was extreme. The third one was extreme too. And I haven't even touched on the third one. He was a different narcissist than the first two, but still a narcissist all the same. So they tell you these stories about people leaving them and They might even go to how their parents treated them bad. They get you emotional where they're like a little wounded puppy, and the woman wants to take care of this little wounded puppy, not realizing it's a venomous snake. Yeah. So they get you emotionally tied up, and they get you to think that they need you. They need you in they need you in their life to make their life better. And who doesn't want to be needed? But there's danger in thinking a narcissist needs you. So that's one thing. That's another thing they do. Um, let's see. Oh, they use sex, especially male narcissists. Male narcissists will try to engage in sex with you very early because male narcissist knows that with all of the stuff they're saying, doing in the love bombing stage, and if they can physically get you attached to them, it's harder for you to walk away. So a lot of male narcissists, they will engage in sex with you really quick and be somewhat pushy about it or very cunning and manipulative about it. They might even say, well, I told you I love you. So this is just going to make our love stronger. So very manipulative people. So a lot of women who have no acknowledgement of what a narcissist is and cannot see the signs, they engage in sex with narcissists. And usually the sex is good because they are giving it their all because they want your heart, they want your body, they want your mind, they want your spirit. They want every part of you addicted to them. So that's another thing that male narcissists do. And again, females do too. So if you're just tuning in, I'm telling this through the female perspective of dating a narcissist. But whatever I'm saying, you could switch the sex if it is a female narcissist. So all three narcissists that I dated, they all had this trait, which is wanting to engage in sexual acts very early in the relationship. And yeah, I know I had a choice to say no. I didn't. As we talked about the love bombing, we talked about the you know, after the love bombing, they might slightly start putting you down. The first narcissist I dated did not do that. He didn't put me down until later on into the relationship. He had narcissistic traits. Um, the second narcissist that I dated, I mean, he even went as far as talking about my body, things that I could change or improve. He talked about my hair, he talked about my makeup. I mean, he talked about a whole bunch of stuff, but it was really like slight digs, just enough to try to make me think that no one else wanted me. And over time, the most strongest person will get worn down. Um, let's see what the comments are saying. They always are the victim in every relationship. Absolutely, they are always the victim, and they never tell the whole story why people run from them, why people put restraining orders on them, why people block them. Before I forget, I will talk about how narcissists know how to get around blocks on phones, which is the most amazing thing ever. So in a relationship with a narcissist, so after the love bombing and they pull that love that you felt back, now here comes the effed up cycle of psychological, emotional abuse. So when you're chasing after this person, because this person has prepped you to feel that you are needed in their life. And as they're pulling away, or as they're treating you bad, or as they're going missing, or as they're telling you lies, you amp up your good behavior to them because you want to show them that you are the right person for them. So now you're pouring your love into them. You're pouring your energy. Some people might even pour their money into them to show this narcissist, I am the one for you. Let's just get it back to how it was in the beginning. You will never get that same person that you had in the beginning from a narcissist because it was an act, a pure acting. Narcissists should just get all kind of acting awards because it's amazing. So you go through this cycle of, especially when you start getting tired, when you start realizing my energy is being just drained, because they're energy drainers. They take but don't give anything back. And don't dare do anything to them that they did to you. For instance, if they cheat on you, I cheated. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. But if you cheat on them, they will throw it in your face every single second and minute of the day. Manipulation to keep you under their control. They want to control. That's what they thrive off of, is control. So let's see what Danny said. Danny says, female narcissists weaponize sex in every way. Yes, females and males, they use sex. It's rare you run across a narcissist that can sustain from sex and let an actual relationship develop by getting to know each other. They have to push sex in because they want your mind, your body, your spirit, your everything. They want everything to be addicted to them. Queen Sunki says, what makes you attracted to narcissists? I will talk about that too. I will talk about that too. So actually, I'll talk about that right now before I go back into me dating these narcissists. So a lot of narcissists, they like to, I'm not going to say they prey on strong people, they prey because everybody has their weakness, and the strongest people, they don't know, sometimes they don't know what their weakness is until they get tested. And I think in my second relationship with a narcissist, which I was with this person for a year, they showed me that I was not as strong in that relationship that I thought I was. It wasn't until after the relationship I realized how strong I was to even break that bond, that trauma bond. And I'll talk about what a trauma bond is. So they prey on people who can supply their needs and has trauma themselves. They have trauma themselves. Because being with a narcissist and keeping a narcissist in your life will show a person that they need to work on self-love. Because you can't love yourself and love a narcissist and how they treat you. This is what I've learned. So when I have met a narcissist, especially the second one who was physically and all the abusive to me, I was trying to get the love from him that I was not feeling inside of myself. And he picked that up because they watch your whole moves. They watch what your need. And I was such in need of wanting a boyfriend at the time. And he sensed that. It was like a dog sensing, smelling it. And so he knew that. So he knew he had to prep me. He had to get me physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything addicted to him. So when the abuse came, it was harder for me to leave. And also people who, what was I going to say? People who have been in relationships where they aren't the best, sometimes are used to being in relationships like that, where they're not treated the best. So it's easier for them to accept it, to accept this is just how it is. So for me, what it really showed me being with that narcissist is, and I actually put myself in therapy to help me get away from this person, the middle narcissist. And I remember my therapist just kept on saying self-care and self-love. Self-care and self-love. If you love yourself, you wouldn't let someone do this. If you love yourself, you wouldn't accept this. So that's my thing. That I know that was my learning lesson in dealing with this particular narcissist. Narcissists have no respect for their partners. For instance, when holidays come around, holidays are the worst in dating narcissists because narcissists, again, do not respect anybody. And most narcissists are cheaters. I will not say all, but most of them are. So imagine this, as a woman dating a narcissist, and I'm pretty sure he was dating other women. When Christmas comes around, If he's one person, how is he going to split himself amongst multiple women? What he does is he either starts an argument, he disappears, or he says something like, "Oh, well, I'll spend Christmas Day with you, but I want to be home for New Year's Eve. I mean, for Christmas Eve." You know, they know and they're so manipulative. They know how to shift things. You know, or on their birthday, you know, they might make up and they lie all the time. Well, I don't, you know, holidays. So the middle narcissist would tell me that holidays were hard for him because his mom passed. No, holidays was hard for you because you have multiple people and you had to spread your time. You didn't want to get caught. So holidays and birthdays also are worse. Narcissists will ruin a birthday. They will flip everything on you. An argument will happen because of the treatment how they're treating you. You speak on it and then it's your fault. And now here's the argument. Now the day is ruined. Horrible people. Let's see what the comments say. GM says, well, hello, a chick talking about psychology. You have my attention. All right. Now, again, I have to say, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not that. I'm just a woman with experience. So welcome. And if you guys have not, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Danny says, people that are empathetic or who crave affection, attention, like myself, due to childhood issues, there you go. They give you all the attention you can want in the beginning, and it makes you feel so wanted. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Danny. So again, I think Sunkiss was asking why are people attracted to narcissists? Yes, absolutely. A lot of times in people's childhood, they didn't get that affection or that attention that they needed from the people, their parents or whoever their guardian was. So in life, they crave that. And that craving actually got me in trouble in when I was my late teens and early 20s, that craving of wanting attention from people, from the wrong people. So that's how narcissists can crawl in, because if you're not craving that attention, once somebody does something bad to you, you're like, ooh, peace out. And that's why narcissists run through so many people, because if they run through a person who is not seeking attention in that area of their life, they cannot be fooled by a narcissist. They just bounce. So narcissists, they have basically the people in narcissist life are called supplies, and they're called supplies because the narcissist gets energy from them like vampires, and they give nothing back. So GM, oh shoot, oh, so I answered about my credential, and I talk about narcissism because the way I got away from the second narcissist in my life was because I had to learn about what a narcissist is, to literally break that trauma bond. Because if you don't have the knowledge, it's hard to get away, because they get you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. They get you so tied in that you have to learn who they are. Because if you've never dealt with a full-blown narcissist like the middle guy I'm talking about, it's crazy. You're not used to things like that. So you have to learn what a narcissist is in order to get rid of a narcissist and to not accept another narcissist. Now, the third narcissist that came in my life, he only stayed around for a few weeks because I started seeing the patterns. And I know a lot about narcissism. So when I saw that, I said, you got to go. We're not playing these games. I've already went through this. But what that third narcissist told me was, Minnie, you're starting to love yourself more. You're starting to have self-care. You're starting to put up healthy boundaries. And no matter what someone says or how they treat you in that love bombing stage, you already know it's crap and you're not accepting it, no matter what. That's what I've learned. So let's go back to what is Sun Kiss says. So you thought you had came across men that you could be vulnerable with. Yes, they're very manipulative. They'll tell you a lie about their childhood. They'll make up something to make you think that they're opening up to you. They trust you. So now you tell them the truth about your life, being vulnerable. Just you didn't realize that you fed them information to use against you later. Yeah. They're I'm not very religious, but I will call them demonic. They have demonic spirits. They're evil. They have a lack of empathy. They don't care if they hurt you. You could be sitting there having a nervous breakdown from the trauma they put you through, and they don't give a damn because they have two or three more waiting in line that they're going to abuse. So once you are broke and they get no more energy out of you, they will discard you and go after another supply. They're evil. Yes, please click the like button. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. And subscribe. Um, yes. So, again, we talked about the first narcissist in my life that had narcissistic traits, the second one that was a full-blown narcissist, and the third one who was, I believe, a full-blown narcissist, but I only allowed him to stay in my life for a few weeks because why? I am educated and loving myself, and I don't put up with the BS no more. So the middle narcissist, he physically attacked me 3 times. And that's my first time in my whole entire life ever being physically assaulted by a man, especially a man that I share my bed with and my life with. And I believe that they are what is it called? They prey on people. And I believe the first time he did it to me not calling the police, me not making him leave, me taking him back, was him testing me and telling himself, I could do this again. I got her. I got her so tied up with me in all these different areas. She's not going nowhere. And we broke up literally 20, 30 times in a year, where he would do something to me, I would block him. He would get around my block. He would come to my place. He would get other people's cars and come to my place so I wouldn't know it was him. And a love bombing begins again. That cycle of buying me things, being sweet to me, taking me out on a Saturday, just for him to disappear again. Just for him to call me out of my name again. The cycle continued. So I knew it wasn't right. I knew I couldn't live like that because of how I was feeling inside. I was feeling just like a zombie. I felt dead. I felt depleted. I couldn't even do my personal work because I was so drained and I was scared, And with me, with the middle narcissist, which was the worst narcissist out of all 3 of them, it took me talking to my sister, which is my best friend, about what was really going on and not being ashamed. Talking to my therapist that I started seeing because of this particular situation, and telling other women that were around me what was happening. And so what I did was I built a support group. On my own, I was not strong enough. Even though I feel like I'm a strong ass woman, I'm a badass woman. On my own, I was not strong enough. But with the support of my therapist, with the support of my sister, with the support of my friends, with the support of all these women who didn't make me feel like small, but they would tell me the truth in a loving way, like, he's going to kill you. You need to get away from him. And them continuously telling me is how I finally did it. I finally, the last time I blocked him, I did not open my door when he came to my door like I've done dozens of times. I didn't unblock him. The police were actually called, and the restraining order was put in place. I remember the police asked me, looked me in my eyes and said, you want to put a restraining order on him? And that was a pivotal moment when I looked at the police and I said, yes. I said, yes. And that's when I knew, like, I was actually not going to take this man back. I was done. And the crazy thing about it is, even after the police gave him the restraining order, he still called me on a private number hours later. And I knew it was him. I didn't answer. Um, and that restraining order, when he thought that it expired, even though I extended it, I just didn't serve him yet. The phone calls started up again. Oh yeah, also, I forgot I left this part out. So there's two kind of narcissists when it comes to the behavior of the phone, their phone etiquette. I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna see what Danny said. Danny says they are very broken people, and if you get into a relationship with one, uh, the things that can happen and what you go through is stranger and worse than fiction at times. Hell yes, I agree, Danny. The cycle love bombing, devalue and discard for as long as you will put up with it. Yeah. Excuse me, you guys, because I'm on my phone, and the letters are very small, and I've been having some weird eye stuff going on, so it's kind of sometimes hard for me to focus. But thank you, Danny. So yeah, so going back to the phone etiquette. So the second narcissist that I dated for that year, what he would do is he would call me, like when I was trying to get away from him, he would call me back to back, literally like 17 times in a row. If I blocked him, and I never met anybody in my life that can get around blocks. He knew how to. Why? Because I wasn't the first person that blocked him, the first woman. So that's a very important information I just said right there. And I'm going to tie it to the third guy. So, yeah, he would get around blocks. Who does that? And this was the most creative thing he's ever done. So I blocked him in every way. I wouldn't answer the private calls. This fool got on Cash App and sent me $1 at a time with a message. Yes, he did. They will try whatever they do because they know if they can get not even their foot in the door, if they can get their pinky in the door, because of the trauma bond, you will open that door wide open again. And I couldn't answer the phone. I couldn't open my door. I had to, and it was terrifying because this person was physically abusive to me. So I lived in fear that he might bum rush me coming in my door one day, and he told me multiple times he would kill me, and this person was he was larger than me, so yeah, so his phone etiquette was to call back to 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 back, voice messages, back to back to back to back. He had two phones, so he would go from one phone to the other phone. Or if he would come here, just ring the doorbell over and over and over and over and over and over again. Knock, 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 knock. So that was his, it's called hoovering. When you discard or try to discard a narcissist, it's called hoovering, where they will not let you just move on. There's no closure with the narcissist. So don't think that you can have that last conversation. You both just turn around and walk away and go live your life. They will not let that happen. They will not. Okay, Danny said, it's one of the tactics is to isolate you as much as possible from anyone to talk sense into you or to make you realize it's going on. It isn't right or healthy. Yes, and he tried that tactic. So again, my sister's my best friend, and he would make comments about, you're always on the phone with your sister. Why aren't you on the phone with me that much? And me and this person were together all the time. My sister lives in another state. He lives literally 20 to 45 minutes away from me, depending on where he's coming from. But yeah, he tried. But I did not let that happen. And I have male friends. He tried to get rid of my male friends, and I didn't let that happen either. I let him meet them, and I told him they're going to stay. So going back to the phone etiquette, the third narcissist had a whole nother phone etiquette. So when he wanted to punish me, or he was I did something, or I don't know. They think weird. Um, Instead of him doing the tactic that the second one did, which is calling 17 times in a row and knocking on my door until I open it, or jumping my balcony and tapping on my windows, the third narcissist would just go ghost. So, two narcissists, two different behaviors. He would go ghost. And he would go ghost because he wanted to see my reaction. He wanted to see if I say, why did you do that? Why didn't I hear from you? You know, he would do that. Or if we would see each other, he would do the same thing. Basically go ghost. Go ghost. To try to get this emotion out of me, to try harder so that wouldn't happen. So two different narcissists, two different techniques. Sun kiss. LOL, that fool's crazy. Dollar Cash App with messages. Yes, girl. Yes, he did, girl. When I seen that, I was like, oh, wow. This guy is going too far. He would borrow people's phones too to try to get a hold of me. And the crazy thing about it is when I was in the midst of this relationship, it felt like love. Because again, I didn't know what narcissists, how their tactics. So it felt like, why was someone calling me 17 times or coming by here and leaving gifts at my door and leaving notes on my door and, sending flowers to my job? This is love. It's not. Love doesn't put their hands around your neck. Love doesn't call you a bitch, hoe, and a slut when you weren't doing anything except sitting on the couch. Love doesn't talk about how they're going to damage your property. That's not love. That's not love. It's control. So let me see what else we could talk about. The evil, demonic, disturbed, the crazy narcissist that hide among us. Yeah. Oh, they're not. Honestly, they're not the best. Well, I'm not gonna say they're not the best parents. They're they'll use their kids also to try to manipulate and control. Like this particular person would say, you can't leave me. You met my son. But I knew better. I'm probably 1 out of 20 women his young son has met in his lifetime. They'll use any kind of tactic. They really will. So again, when I got away from him, I blocked him and I did not unblock him. That's what you have to do. You have to just cut off as many ties as possible. And I know if anyone is listening to this and they have children with a narcissist, it's harder. Like the middle narcissist, he was married and he had a child by this lady. And actually his ex-wife, and him talking about her and me listening to their phone conversation, is a really good woman. I have much respect for her when him and I were together. He chose a good one to marry. But I feel like she understood in those years of marriage what he really was. He was not even able to come to her home to pick up his son for visitation. Every single time she has to meet him at a grocery store or some public place. Why? Because them being married, he put her through it. And that was a red flag right there that I ignored. But by that time I realized this fool can't even pick up his own son from his ex-wife's house because of his past behavior. I was already too entangled. I was too entangled. So yeah, blocking them and going cold turkey. That's the only way. And going to therapy and talking about it and not being ashamed of and not feeling foolish. Because some people, what made me feel bad is a lot of people who've known me most of my life, or my friends, they look at me as such a strong woman. And it made me feel bad when people were like, how did that happen to you of all people? I'm human. Like I said, everybody has their weaknesses. Everybody has, lessons they need to continue to learn. And I learned. Oh yeah, I learned from these lessons. Never. That's why the third narcissist only got a few weeks, not a year or 2 or 3, because a narcissist can have you in their a hold of. Bye, Sun Kiss. Thank you for stopping by. They can have you in their grips for like as long as you allow them to. As long as you will allow them to abuse you. Most narcissists, they will discard you, but if you have a little bit of energy they can suck out of you, or a little bit of need that you're fulfilling from them, it might be even sexual, it might be whatever it might be, they will keep you around as long as you can stand the abuse. Yeah. As long as you can stand the abuse. And but it's a heavy price to pay to stay with these people. And the sad thing about it is, like, the middle narcissist, the worst of them all. And again, the third narcissist could have been bad too, but I didn't let him stay that long to even find out how bad he was. He did enough in those few weeks to let me know. The third narcissist, actually, I remember we had a phone conversation. And I was trying to, depart from him and move away from him and not talk to him anymore. And he told me straight out, "You're mine." He told me that 2 or 3 times. "You're mine." Narcissists do not see people as people. They see people as property and things to control. Yeah, he says, "You're mine." I was like, whoa, I got to move to the left and move on from this. So the second narcissist and the third narcissist, one of the things they had in common was therapy. No, they didn't go to therapy, even though they need a therapist. When you're about to discard them and they feel that they're losing their grip and their control, they will throw therapy in the mix. Both of them told me when they felt that I was done, "I'm going to go to therapy." And I bet you can't guess if they really made it even an appointment or one therapy session. Of course they didn't. But it was the middle narcissist. It actually did make me stay with him because I didn't know any better at the time. And again, he had all of the different parts of me. He had all the different parts of me. But the third narcissist, when he told me that, I knew it was BS. I knew it was BS. You're not gonna, if you were gonna get therapy, you would have had therapy before me. You'd have had therapy 5 women ago to be a better person. Manipulation and tactics. That's all. I don't even know if narcissists even know who they truly are, because they wear masks in different parts of their life. GM says, "Are you hoping to get married and have a family?" The family part, I already have a child. So not having any more children, but family meaning, with a husband, myself, and my child, or if he has a child. Yes, but this might go into a whole nother topic, but I'm okay if I don't get remarried again. The dating pool is kind of pissy. In today's society, dating is, I think, tough. The toughest it's been. Excuse me, toughest it's been ever. Not saying there's not good people out there. There is always good single people out there, but it's tough out there. So in these experiences with these narcissists, I am okay with being with me, but I am open to share my life with somebody and see how far it goes. But I'm content in any stage of my life. I believe that desire that the middle narcissist preyed on, that desire of wanting a boyfriend, that desire of wanting a man to swoop me up and tell me all these sweet things. Between the second and the third narcissist being in my life, I've learned to not have that desire, but to sit here and accept what comes that's healthy. So if it's me sitting here focusing on myself without a partner, I'm okay. If a man comes into my life and it's a healthy connection and a healthy union, I'll accept it all day. Let's see. Yeah, the war between the sexes that feminists have waged has completely stewed the dating market. Now, I'm all for um, talking about who's doing what when it comes to this messed up dating market out there. Um, I Again, this is a whole nother show. I mean, being a 40-year-old woman, proud to say, and you hearing, GM, you hearing what the things that I've been through in these relationships, and people could say, well, you allowed that to happen. You allowed it to happen. Okay, whatever. There is, and me being a good woman, I put myself in that good woman category. I think what's happening, a lot of women are saying F it, and I don't want anything serious. So I don't think that, because I mean, naturally, naturally people want a partner. We naturally, we're hardwired to want somebody in our life. But I think that sometimes as women, and you could say as men, we've gotten hurt so many times. And since the good ones are either married in a grave or not born yet, we're tired of running across the duds. And this can go for women and men. So they say, F it, and I'll just rather be by myself. Or I'm not going to lower my standards just to have somebody next to me in my bed. Um, when I blame men, I equally blame women. When I blame women, I equally blame men. I don't believe it's just women out here. And since we're yelling, we make money now, we could do this for ourselves, they still have that natural desire to want someone, but they're tired of getting hurt, or they're tired of the okie doke, or they're tired of or they don't want to lower their standards. Now the women who have unrealistic standards, that's a whole nother thing. But the ones who they want to be respected. They, just they want someone that has that connection. It's not a lie. It's actually something truthful. A whole bunch of other things. They just want a healthy relationship. They're not trying to use a man. They're not trying to degrade him. They're actually willing, like myself, to lift him up and try to help him get to that next level, and whatever it might be. If it's a career, if it's him just living his life, all of that. But what's out here in the dating market, in the dating pool, if you do that with the wrong person, you will be depleted. So I think a lot of women are just, F it. I'm tired. I don't got another go around. So let's see. Feminists had caused a serious evolutionary mismatch between the sexes. The cause and effect of that has manifested in too many ways to be undone at this point. I mean, I would really like to, it's 11:30 at night. I would love for you to come up here and explain it. Let me see. I got a few more minutes left in me. If I give you the link, GM, would you mind coming up here and explaining? Because I love to hear different people's perspectives. Would you mind coming up here just for maybe like 10, 15 minutes and explaining what you mean? If you're not up for it tonight, then that's fine. Um, yeah, I mean, it's tough out there. It's tough out there, and for the people who are not single and who have met their match in this dating pool, good for you guys. Good for you guys. All right, let me get you the link. Let me see how I do this. Do I go here? Nope, I don't go there. Let me try to get that link. Nope. Where's this it? Yep, got it.
All right, let's see. I'm going to do this post comment. And come on now. Come on. There we go. All right. There's a link right there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say. Because I mean, even though I'm a woman, if I agree with you, I agree with you. If I don't, I don't. I always like to listen to. I think a lot more women should listen to what men have to say, without listening with a rebuttal. Because if you listen without a rebuttal, then you're really listening to the person, and it might change a behavior that men are screaming about that they don't like with women. And it should be vice versa, where men can listen to women and not trying to think about their next uh, quick remark, just really listen and talking to multiple women or talking to multiple men about this topic. When you're hearing the same thing over and over, it could be the truth. You know, I think talking to men and listening to men has helped me become a better woman and have made me a better partner when I do meet people. But the danger in that, well, not even say danger in it, the narcissist can sniff that out. Like this last narcissist, he ran across me and he knew I'm a good woman. He knows I have a big heart. He knows if I could help someone, I would. But what he did not know is I've already dealt with someone like him. So um, he couldn't do what he wanted to do because I don't accept that kind of behavior anymore. So GM, I went ahead and dropped that link. But again, listening to the opposite sex and really listening can help a person become a better person, you know. So uh-huh. Yeah, I just dropped the link, Queen Sunkiss for GM to come up here and explain about his feminist um, views. But I'm, going to give him like 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to get off because it's getting kind of late. But I'm very interested in what he's saying right here. It's going across the screen. And this remark right here that went across the screen. And he's looking for his headphones. And I'm assuming GM is a man. I can't really tell by just the initials GM, but yeah. Um, so yeah, let me see with the narcissists while we're waiting. I think I hit all the points with the narcissists. They're evil, demonic, psychotic, run, don't give them a chance. I think everybody, even if you don't think you'll ever come across a narcissist, find out what the traits of a narcissist is, so when you do come across one, you know to exit quick, or you will have a lot of pain, you will have a lot of confusion. Oh, I didn't even talk about gaslighting. So while we're waiting, gaslight. So gaslighting is when somebody basically tells you you didn't see, hear, or experience what you experienced. The second guy in my life would gaslight me. Like I seen him texting a woman on his phone. He told me that's not what I seen, even though my eyes seen it. I heard him talking to women on his phone while he's in my place in the bathroom. He told me that what the conversation I heard, I did not hear. So how do you argue with someone who says that what you've seen here, it didn't happen? The third guy, this was the funniest gaslight. Again, by the third guy, I was very educated on narcissism. So this particular guy, he was doing his ghosting thing where I didn't hear from him in a few days or whatever. So he calls me after I was like, I'm done with you. You can move on, whatever. I think he calls me and I answer. I think he calls me through a block number and I answer. So he wants to engage in a conversation with me on why I don't want to be with him anymore, even though he doesn't really give a crap. He just wants to give me a little bit of, I see you, GM, backstage. Let me get you up. He just wants to give me a little bit of crumbs before, so I could possibly take him back. So he basically told me that he did call me, even though we both have call logs on our phone. And he told me I was gaslighting him because I said that he hasn't called me, even though we both have call logs and we could both see that he did not call me in a while. So he was gaslighting me, telling me I'm gaslighting him. This is what narcissists do. This is what narcissists do. Oh, shoot. Where'd you go? I pressed the button to let you up. Oh, try again. I don't know what happened. Oh, I gotta turn my AC on. It is hot. It is really hot. Go ahead, GM. Try again. Oh, let's see. Okay, let me see. What should I put it up to? I think I'm gonna put it up to 74. All right. So, yeah. So, while I'm waiting for GM to come backstage again, let me see. Oh no, here you are. I'm sorry. I just needed to add you. Technology.
Hello.
Oh, I got you all wrong just with those two initials, GM. I thought you were
Yeah,
a man.
I know. Sorry to disappoint you.
So please explain to us
Yeah.
your perspective on or your views and thoughts on what's going on in the dating market today.
Oh, it's messed up big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, as I told you in the comments, I firmly believe that feminism has caused an evolutionary mismatch between the sexes.
Okay.
So, yeah, you were talking about narcissism and all that psychology stuff, but the psychology field as a whole hasn't really been there for men for
Mm-hmm.
over 3 decades. So it's been overrun by feminists. So
I
there's
never
there's
looked
a
at that.
yeah
I never looked at it like that.
there's a lot of men in our society that actually don't get the proper help they need.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever they do go see a feminist psychologist, they get told they're the problem because of the patriarchy and blah blah blah. So no, we have a big society problem. You said you had a child?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. The future is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Okay. Yeah, the future. I have a 17, almost 18-year-old son. So
No.
yeah, he's just his age group. It's looking pretty bleak out there.
No, why do you say that? I mean, I don't know how old you are, but compared to when you were 17, what's the difference?
Technology for one.
Agree. Yeah.
Expectations of women. The whole sexual liberation and the whole. My son calls them thoughts.
Ugh.
They're like really slutty. I mean, we used to call them sluts back in my day, but
Yeah.
just very hypersexualized.
Yes.
Like that age group is actually more prone for hookups than actual intimacy. So
Mm-hmm.
they will have sex before they will actually tell each other the truth about anything. So it's pretty bad.
I totally agree. And kind of going back to when you first came on, what you said,
Yeah.
you remind me of something my mom said. My mom said the lib movement messed it up for a lot of us women.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
she used to tell me that a lot. She
Yeah.
said, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and with did you go to university by chance?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So when you went, what was the ratio men to women?
Let me think back on it. I mean, I kind of went, uh, not the traditional like going on campus type of route, but
Yeah,
when I did go to like my class once a week, we were all kind of older getting our degrees, so it was kind of it was mixed. Maybe if I was younger, it would have been different.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I have friends my age that went to college in like 2001, and
Mhm.
this is about the time where there was a major influx of women into university to meet
Mhm.
affirmative action quotas. So it used to be about 50-50, and now 2 women are graduating to every man. So that displaces a lot of men out of the dating market for sure.
And you're saying that because educated women do not want to date uneducated men.
That, yeah. They would rather date how they see as equal or
Mhm.
above, right? I
Mhm.
mean, hypergamy is a thing, so they're not going to be as inclined to date like a working man, or
Mhm.
and by the time when they're done with college, they're like, okay, I have this degree and all this student loan debt. Like they are looking for somebody in their field, or they're better, I guess, credential wise to hook up with. And a lot of times those guys are already paired up, so
Mhm.
they miss out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you single?
Yes.
Okay. Are you in the range of 35 to 45?
Yes.
Okay. In that range, how do you feel just in that age range? How do you think it's like it's harder, or is it kind of shitty all the way across the board?
I mean, it's kind of shitty all the way across the board, but for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sunkissed, we disagree on this hypergamy thing. She thinks a woman can go against her biology and accept a man that makes less than her without becoming a resentful, tyrannical, dominating woman that's controlling. She thoroughly believes that. I don't
Ooh.
buy it. I don't buy it.
I have not dated anyone a man who makes less than me since I was like maybe my late teens, and late
Yeah.
teens, who really cares? We're all working at fast food
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Um, but now looking at it, I'm trying to think, could I think the only way I could do it and keep that keep helping him with his keeping his masculine energy up is if
Yeah.
he had a good job making more money than me,
Uh huh.
my husband, and he lost his job. And now I'm making more than him. Or he's transitioning and something happened where that good paying job, he's not
Right.
there, but he's trying
Right.
to get back there. Then I
Right.
understand that. But just coming straight out the gate where I'm making way more than you. Now, this is going to sound bad. I know this is going to sound bad. I think the only other way I could do it is so my first husband was not from this country. So he did not make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So in that case, I was able to not lose that not be that controlling person, because it wasn't because he was lazy, it was because he was from a very poor country, and it was harder for me to get his footing.
Right.
So those reasons I could still I could kind of control that controlling part of me. But if
Right.
it's just that, nah, I don't know. I don't know.
No, like me and me and son go back and forth on this all the time. I mean, because women are in a position right now where they're like, okay, they have 2 choices. They can get a dog and die alone, or they can, what they would consider, settle for somebody that makes less than them because they've already displaced the men out of the job markets. So they're in positions where really a lot of men should be in. But it just hasn't worked out that way because of affirmative action and a bunch of diversity, inclusion, equity policies. So,
See, my world's a little different.
yeah.
I didn't find difficulty in finding men who make more than me.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I could find men who make a lot of money, a lot of them.
That would
But
marry you.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I take that back. I could, but what it boils down to is a treatment. Because as you
Mm-hmm.
asked that question, I just like two or three just popped in my head that would marry me. It's the treatment and the connection for me. Everybody has their own, you know,
Mm-hmm.
their own difficulties in dating. For me,
Yeah.
it's the treatment.
Yeah.
Like the narcissist, the second narcissist I was talking about, even the third narcissist, they make really good money.
Yeah.
But look at what I would had to. Now the third narcissist, I probably could get him to marry me. But look what I would be going through. The emotional up and down and the emotional abuse. No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the details of it, but
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you must weren't here the
I heard some, but it was very
okay.
vague.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my problem. My problem is not finding the man who makes the money. It's the
Yeah.
treatment.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Let's-
well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Actually,
Yeah.
there was a gentleman that we also frequent,
Mhm.
the Supreme King Coon. He shared your book the other day. Was it yesterday? I think he shared
Yes.
a bit of
Some kids
your
were
book.
telling me about that. Was he so now did he
Uh-huh.
read it? Did he show the like what actually went down?
I didn't catch it, so
Oh.
yeah.
I'm gonna have I've been so busy when I got home. I didn't get a chance to go back and listen to it. Some kids was telling me about around what minutes it was. It was the video where they were like on for like 10 hours, right?
Oh, I don't. I'm not sure
Oh, you
which
don't
one it
know.
was. Yeah.
Okay. I'll find it tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you so much. It's oh my gosh. I the list of things to do tonight, I'm just gonna throw it in the trash and go to bed.
Okay. Well, it was good chatting with you. Thanks for
Yes.
answering my questions.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you have a good night. Everyone else, if you're listening, please subscribe, like, hit that notification button, share, comment, talk about it, tell your grandma, tell your daddy, whoever. So have a good night, everybody. All right. Bye bye.